How do hard drugs feel like? In a book about trauma, I've seen heroin described as lying in your mom's lap and having her run her fingers through your hair. Can anyone confirm or deny if that's accurate? If so, I can see how y'd be addicted to that shit from day one. Feeling safe and warm and fuzzy is something so hard to get by in this harsh world. I feel for everyone affected by addiction. My friend gave me some ADHD meds one time, which is the hardest drug I've ever tried. It was like the high you get from coffee, but it lasted all day. They feel good, but expensive in many ways. A spontaneous H. Regarding cocaine, it was an instant confidence boost. I walked into a room and felt confident. The downside is the sheer cost. I would go out for one night and be down 200-300. We got addicted, but I decided to walk away before I did. Also, some girls get really needy on it. I can't even explain it, but they would pretty much do anything for a line. I wasn't that type of person, but I'd done it with 3 girls and 2 of them hinted at paying me in other ways than money if I had some. That depends on drugs as well as the person using them. I've done loads of hard drugs. LSD and 2CB is my favorite of the bunch, but they don't feel hard really, in that they are quite easy on the body. They feel like your brain is an art exhibit. Opiates are like being really stoned on cannabis, but without any mental effect. Cocaine gives you a big ego. None of it feels as good as falling in love. But MDMA kinda feels like falling in love. You just feel very geeky too. Ketamine is like your brain is on the top of a light pole and you have lost 40 IQ points, so all that you have the mental capacity to do is enjoy the music and lights. Alcohol is definitely a hard drug. After all my years of experience, I would say the drugs people should avoid are cocaine, heroin, and nicotine, but alcohol is at the top of the list. Alcohol is where bad decisions are born. Great. You feel amazing and so confident. The come down is the worst though. Not being able to sleep properly and feeling constantly paranoid. Angelic bliss would be a very basic answer, but not much can describe the pure power of it all. No normal experience in regular existence can compare, and no, I don't recommend it. Nothing like the LSD we could buy back in the 70s. Laced with BS that fucks with you now. The experience of 4-way window pane and a ZZ Top concert followed by a swim in the ocean is something I won't forget. I've had fentanyl in a hospital setting, and I definitely understand why people ruin their lives over it. Insanely relaxing, like you're asleep and awake at the same time. That's with a properly delivered safe dose too. When if I reach 80, I plan on doing as many hard drugs as possible. Been there, done that. It's true, just say no. There's 3 basic directions you head space will go. Wire up, dope down, and the hallucinations from psychedelics. Uppers are just that, and really you can get mostly there with a few Red Bulls and some candy without the need to put lesions on your brain and be addicted. It's not terribly exciting, just terribly addictive. To get hooked on meth or cocaine, downers just make you tired and less aware. Lots of people love them because they hate their lives, so having a depressing ass drug helps to cope with their depressing ass lives. It's suicide with extra steps to get hooked on these as your tolerance to feel good gets higher. Just don't do weed. It's not a hard drug. It's a forgetful drug. If weed were a relationship, it's a friend zone. It will hold you back from reaching your goals, and that's about it. The most important thing to know about drugs is you cannot see their effects until you've been clean for a very long time or you see it in other people. It's like vampires. Drug users can't see themselves and they need to bring others into their addiction to make it easier to get high. Don't focus on how they temporarily make you feel. Focus on the fact that mothers high on those types of drugs will literally kill their kid or try to sell their kid. Focus on how they will ruin your life because the addiction will make you lose everything. I'm a paramedic. I talk to a lot of drug addicts and see a lot of people on drugs, for better or for worse. I would never fucking try Molly MDMA. The shit I've seen people do on that, never. Opiates, once best described to me as imagine you are freezing. Now open the dryer and pull out a hot blanket. Slowly slide that blanket up over your body as the warmth wraps around you. Aside from the respiratory arrest, great. Benzos? Well, there's the ticket. Hey, would you like to have not a worry in the world and have her a great nap? While also being safer than fentanyl. How could you not sign up for that ride? Opiates make you feel like you've been jumped, like a whole gang just beat the shit out of you, except in a good way. Very good. My bipolar ass. I don't need drugs to feel like God and be invincible af. I need hard drugs to make sure I never feel this high Elmau. Been 13 years, but I still dream about it. If you ask my brother-in-law, they feel like losing custody of your kids. Having an ex-wife that drank herself to death. Having a baby with the ex-wife's sister that she gives birth to whilst in prison. having ex-wives and sister-in-law's parents raise your daughter niece in a trailer, while you constantly only care about trying to get the social security checks from the people that are actually raising the first 2 kids in a solid and good home.